Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tech Sensory Solutions. The topic for today is the Virtual Boy Nintendo video game system. Background history of the Virtual Boy. The Nintendo Virtual Boy was a unique and ambitious project that sought to push the boundaries of gaming in the early 1990s by introducing a portable 3D gaming experience. It was unveiled by Nintendo in 1995 and was designed to be a new kind of gaming device, offering stereoscopic 3D graphics, a feature that was nearly unheard of at the time, particularly in a portable system. The Virtual Boy name comes from two key concepts: virtual referring to the system's attempt to simulate a 3D experience, and boy, which symbolized a new, high-tech device aimed at a younger audience, much like the Game Boy. However, the name has since been associated with the system's failure, as it did not connect well with the target audience or the broader market. The development of the Virtual Boy was headed by Gunpei Yokoi, a prominent Nintendo designer known for creating the Game Boy. Yokoi's team also included developers from Nintendo R&D1, the division responsible for many of the company's hardware innovations. Gunpei Yokoi, known for his work on the Game Boy, served as the general producer and visionary behind the Virtual Boy. He was deeply involved in the conceptualization of the system, focusing on creating a new experience with stereoscopic 3D. Katsuya Eguchi, a game designer who contributed to the software side of things, Eguchi was involved in the creation of various titles for the system. His work helped bring the hardware to life through unique game designs. Naka Yuji, known for his work on the Sonic the Hedgehog series, Naka contributed as a programmer on a few of the system's titles, offering some of his expertise in 3D gaming. The hardware was mostly built in-house by Nintendo's R&D2 division. However, the Virtual Boy's hardware was based on low-cost 3D technology that didn't quite meet the expectations for a truly immersive experience. Its 3D effects were achieved using parallax techniques, but the resolution and color depth were limited, which led to mixed reactions from critics and consumers. Hardware design and technical specifications. The Virtual Boy's hardware was designed to create an immersive 3D experience using stereoscopic 3D technology. While innovative for its time, it was also notably flawed. Here are some key technical specifications. Display. The Virtual Boy used LED displays capable of rendering only red and black colors, a decision made to reduce production costs. This monochrome display restricted its visual appeal, as it lacked the depth and vibrancy of a full-color display. Screen. The system used small LCD screens, one for each eye, offering the illusion of 3D. It employed parallax scrolling and motion parallax to generate depth. Processor. The system ran on a 32-bit custom processor developed by Nintendo, which was capable of handling 3D graphics, but did not have the power of contemporary gaming systems like the Sony PlayStation or Sega Saturn. RAM. The Virtual Boy had only 1 MB of RAM, which was far lower than its competitors at the time. Audio. Sound was emitted from a small mono speaker, contributing to the overall lack of immersive audio experiences. The device itself featured a stand and required the user to lean their face into a pair of goggles-like eyepieces, which added to the physical discomfort for long gaming sessions. The system was controlled with a standard D-pad and a pair of buttons. Peripherals and third-party peripherals. The Virtual Boy had a limited selection of peripherals and accessories. Controller. The Virtual Boy came with a unique controller featuring a D-pad, ALB buttons, and Starty Select buttons, all arranged in an odd layout to accommodate the 3D interface. Stand. The system required a stand for operation. It did not have a built-in screen like the Game Boy, so it had to be used while propped up on a table or other surface. Link cable. It supported multiplayer gaming via a link cable that allowed players to connect to systems for certain titles, although this was rarely used due to the system's limited library and lack of appeal. Third-party peripherals. There were few third-party peripherals produced for the system due to its poor reception. Accessories like custom controllers or additional memory cards were either non-existent or extremely rare. Notable released games and software. The Virtual Boy had a very limited library of games, with only around 22 titles released in North America. Some notable titles included: 1. Wario Land. Virtual Boy, a platformer, and one of the standout games on the system. It showcased more refined gameplay and was considered one of the better titles for the Virtual Boy. 2. Mario Tennis, a sports game that was praised for its smooth 3D mechanics. 3. Red Alarm, a 3D space shooter, one of the more technical achievements on the system. 4. Teleroboxer, a 3D boxing game that was one of the few games that truly utilized the 3D nature of the console. 5. Virtual Boy Golf, a 3D golf game that was functional, though not particularly revolutionary. Despite some well-designed games, the system's poor display quality, limited library, and lack of developer support hindered its potential. There was only one model of the Virtual Boy released. Unlike some other Nintendo consoles, there were no hardware revisions or new models introduced. The system's failure in the market meant that Nintendo did not pursue further development of the Virtual Boy platform. Marketing strategy. Nintendo's marketing campaign for the Virtual Boy was notably aggressive. The company hyped it as the future of gaming and as the first portable 3D gaming system. However, this marketing was inconsistent with the device's actual functionality and its issues with comfort and usability. The advertising positioned the system as a revolutionary piece of hardware, but the focus on its 3D capabilities often overshadowed the fact that it was monochrome and physically uncomfortable to use. Retail demos were placed in stores, but many consumers were turned off by the system's inability to deliver a truly immersive experience. The lack of compelling software also contributed to the failure of the marketing strategy. The rise of the Virtual Boy was swift but short-lived. Despite heavy promotion from Nintendo, the system failed to capture the public's interest due to its limitations. The decline began almost immediately after its release in 1995, with most consumers either not understanding the need for the device or finding its physical discomfort and lack of color off-putting. By 1996, the system was discontinued and Nintendo ceased production. Worldwide sales. The Virtual Boy was a commercial failure, with worldwide sales estimated at around 770,000 units. In comparison to the Game Boy, which sold over 100 million units, the Virtual Boy's poor reception was a massive disappointment for Nintendo. Legacy and influence on the gaming industry. The Virtual Boy is often cited as one of the greatest failures in gaming history, but it also had a lasting influence on the industry. Though the system itself was discontinued within a year, its experiment with 3D gaming paved the way for future innovations in virtual reality and 3D gaming. VR technology. While the Virtual Boy was not a success, its focus on stereoscopic 3D and head tracking inspired future virtual reality VR systems like the Oculus Rift and PlayStation VR. Game design. The platform's failure also highlighted the importance of user comfort and accessibility in hardware design. Innovations, such as motion sickness prevention and ergonomic controllers in VR gaming today, can be traced back to lessons learned from the Virtual Boy's failures. Despite its short life, the Virtual Boy is now considered a curio of gaming history, often referenced for its audacity, limitations, and the lessons learned from its failure. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below letting me know what you think. Until next time, may legends be born.